It's never too soon to start taking care of your face. The world's first impression. The last thing you want is to look wrinkly. Not to mention the sight of your own crepe-y neck can diminish your outlook for the entire day. Not to mention the thoughts that run through the minds of men. One look at a cracked neck and their minds immediately jump to a dry vagina. Whereas the opposite is true when glimpsing a smooth, plump cheek. Oh, but that's not why your husband walked out. You're quite plump in the cheek. But soon enough, aging, exhausted skin can ambush you when it's too late to turn back the clock. No matter how much our husbands profess to love us, a wrinkle drives a knife into their previously loving hearts. But fear not. Collagen peptides, available for application in a soothing, creamy emollient. Don't you just love that word, emollient? Merely saying it softens the skin. A little dab will do ya, as they say. Pat, pat, pat. That's it. Apply gently, gently. Forehead, cheeks. Use both hands. Neck. I swear I can see an improvement already. Oh no, don't look in the... I was looking in the future. But you will definitely see actual results in less than 2 weeks with steady application. And the tiny amount you use means the jar will last and last. And for those sensitive eye bags, a special potion that instantly reduces the puffiness. I know, it seems like a lot of money for such a minuscule amount of magic, but you barely need a whisper of it to do the job. Just a little. No, too much. Too much. Don't wipe it off, scrape it back in the jar. At these prices. Great. Gently, under the eye. Oh, yes. One look at the new you, and your husband will be begging you to let him back into the house. I know what I'm talking about, believe me. If you don't want your husband going off making babies with a younger, firmer woman, you have to use a nightly eye cream. Your natural lip color is nice, sort of a plum. Yes, a plum. Maybe something a little less blue, a little wowier than what you have naturally. More of a jump your bones kind of plum rather than your bus, peck on the cheek invitation. You want something that inspires a smear. I use red in that unmistakable ripe cherry. It causes my husband to smear his lips across mine, spreading the color from chin to forehead and then other less facial areas of the body. I look like a murder victim by the time he's done with me. Usually feel like one too. That extra weight is like a freight train. Here we go! Plum jamboree with an overlay of fire engine. Oh, before you put it on, make sure you take care of those feathery lip crinkles. Mouth plumper. There's a subtle irritant in the chemistry, not so much as to cause anaphylaxis, just enough to swell the lips and smooth out the lines. I only use it when I want to make sure he's looking at my mouth. Go ahead. I have an EpiPen if there's a problem. We always want to repair the face before applying makeup. Facial wrinkles be gone so that foundation doesn't cake up. Under eye bags be gone before highlighter. You know, we have masculine versions of all these. The men I help are never married, usually recently divorced and therefore just discovering their own physical deterioration. God forbid they take care of themselves for their wives. The newly divorced man's diet, gym membership, skincare, hair restoration scheme, it's a whole wing of the beauty industry. Of course, most men get product online. I know because I read their complaints in the comments section. It's always their own fault. Men don't read directions. And so they get contraindications, rashes mostly, from applying in the wrong area or thinking they're supposed to drink it instead of rub it in. Women would never make that mistake. They make other ones. My sister is a divorce lawyer. She represents the wives. They always look great. Beautiful. Expensive, beautiful. Painful, beautiful. The facelifts, body sculpting, the liposuction, the diets, the personal trainers, the weekly weigh-ins. Well, that's my personal addition to my sister's list. I thought it was funny. My husband gains 107 pounds in less than 3 years, but makes me stand on the scale once a week. My sister was ready to start proceedings. Thank goodness I didn't tell her about the texting. She would have lost her whole mind. This color should work. Smooth it down your neck and into your chest until it disappears. Not your chest, the foundation. The texting. Fred starts charging his phone at the office. Don't you want to charge your phone? I charged it at the office. Okay. And then when it dings, he races to read it in another room. Who was that? Just some work thing? But he could never hide anything. When we first met at that conference in New Jersey, it was obvious he had had another lady visitor. The evidence was everywhere. He was already cheating, and we hadn't even had sex. But he brushed away my suspicions by over-affectionating me. How beautiful, how exuberant, how special. And it worked. It always worked. It still works. All he has to do is pay the slightest attention and all my suspicions turn to smoke that blows away. But the texting thing. He almost knocked me down the stairs one time, rushing to answer the phone, dinging in his jacket pocket. I even made a joke about it. What are you trying to hide, buddy? His name is Fred. I was trying to be funny, but he blew up, accused me of constant and unattractive jealousy, of which I was entirely guilty because he always gave me cause. So, one night, after he'd eaten himself into a stupor, I went snooping, getting angrier and angrier because why should I put up with this behavior? I had tossed men out for lesser offenses, and here I am putting up with Tubby's secret life. He was extinguishing my flame. And then I found his phone, a battalion of texts, one right after the other. I recognized her name. He had casually mentioned it when he got home from the last conference. I read a few short missives, all dripping in adoration, but the one I remember, the one sentence. It would have been a cute kid. It would have been a cute kid. Tubby and his text buddy had made a kid, or almost made a kid. He wouldn't make a kid with me, but he'd accidentally made one with casually mentioned lady friend. An almost child, one that would have been cute. What could I do? I put his phone back, and I went to the cabinet, and I assembled my beauty arsenal. Don't look at me like that. You're not my sister. Everybody puts up with this kind of behavior. Why else are you spending $1,000 on wrinkle removers? Next, you'll be at the plastic surgeon on a starvation diet and jogging to tone it all up. And I'm helping you while I steal your money, as if any of this snake oil is going to make a straying mantis stay home. Plus, I'm always starving. I'm calling my sister. I'm making appointments for both of us.